You can make a great beer with just 4 ingredients: barley, hops, water, and yeast. But to make an extreme beer, those 4 ingredients put together the same old way isn't enough. This is Project Extreme Brewing. I met with the Alström brothers of Beeradvocate here in Boston before the doors of the Extreme Beer Fest opened to talk all things extreme. When it comes to extreme brewing, there are tons of thoughts and perspectives floating around about what the word extreme actually refers to. From some initial thoughts that extreme only equated to high ABV, to the celebration of the wild stuff that has been hitting the floors of EBF since the early 2000s. The Alström brothers and Dogfish have done a collaborative brew for the EBF pretty much every year since we've been a sponsor brewery, and we don't front it. It's not like a call or an email. You guys come down every year and you're there. So let's have this year's collaborative beer. Jason, why don't you talk about it, because this really came from this year's was your brainchild. Alyssa, thank you for pouring us our beer.
So Christmas pudding.
Cheers, gents.
So it's based off of just that decadent dessert over Christmas time.
What are your key ingredients when you make a Christmas pudding?
Lots of nuts, dried fruit, healthy amount of booze, a little binder like flour or granola, and some eggs.
We incorporated a bunch of the traditional ingredients, putting some of your favorite ingredients forward. What do you think of the beer? What do you guys get when you try it?
It turned out great.
I love the addition of the barrel aging.
The port softens the booziness. It doesn't taste like 12.
Really balances
There's this
out.
really nice, little bit of a tartness, like a little bit of a bite in the middle.
Cherries. Tell me what you think about just the general definition of extreme beer, what it might have meant at the first ever tiny event in Cyclorama, the definition of extreme beer, where it started, where it is now.
We had defined it very early on. Extreme beer is literally just a beer that pushes the boundaries of brewing. It's not tied to a certain style or ABV. So those early days of the festival, we really tried to push and reinforce that no, this is the actual definition. There wasn't one up until then.
Yeah.
We defined it out of a necessity.
Because the perception was starting to grow that extreme meant strong.
Right, and we were trying to change everyone's mind. I think over the course of all these years doing the festival, working with you, the book and all that, I think it's finally getting out there.
We have a tradition every year at EBF, and that's to wander the floor in search of some of the most extreme beers we can find. With so many awesome craft breweries in attendance, sometimes that's hard to do. But we gotta take one for the team. So why do you think the evolution of EBF has been successful?
I just think it's because of the concept. I mean, these brewers are bringing it. It's all about creative brews, innovation, different types of brewing
part
techniques.
Of that American beer culture now.
Yeah.
To brew outside the Reinheitsgebot, to do different things with processes, not just ingredients, and to go for it.
It's kind of like, in a way, it defines modern American brewing in many ways.
Which is don't fence me in.
Yeah, and just constant creativity.
And also, if you think of it, every single beer that every craft brewer makes is extreme relative to the homogenized light lager that most people think of as beer. So even our pals at Sierra Nevadas, imagine how extreme Sierra Nevada Pale Ale tasted in 1980, right? So boundaries spread out, but even that.
Yeah, that goes right to our goal. It's about getting people to think and drink differently. And that's what it's really all about.
And the Alström brothers are doing just that. By opening the doors to this historic Boston building and bringing in hundreds of brewers and craft beer enthusiasts alike, we are all encouraged to think and drink differently. That's what we're trying to do with Project Extreme Brewing. And I'm insanely excited to see what extreme beers we make down the line. So this is a growler of Puddin' Wine, the beer that Dogfish, Jason, and Todd Alström came together to brew. We had a blast coming together in the Extreme Beer Fest Hall in downtown Boston and kind of finding some of our creative brethren and inviting them to be part of this project. So Puddin' Wine clocks in at 10.5 ABV, traditional English barley wine, but on steroids with both the additions of the fruits and the Christmassy spicing. We love this beer. Cheers. So if you're thinking about maybe getting into brewing outside of the box and brewing with culinary ingredients, or just taking some risks and being more adventurous with your brewing, pick up a copy of Project Extreme Brewing, the book that I wrote with the Alström brothers and with the wonderful aid of over 30 amazing, talented extreme brewers from coast to coast who added over 40 recipes to this book. You can buy it anywhere you buy awesome books, or of course at dogfish.com. Get brewing.